Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how you can update the service history in an F or G Series BMW using a laptop, an ESIS cable and a free bit of software. So let's make a start. You will need the following items to perform this update. First, you need a laptop running Windows 10 or 11. It is also possible to do this on a MacBook if you have Windows set up as a virtual machine. Next, if your laptop doesn't have an Ethernet port, you'll need to purchase a USB to Ethernet adapter. I've provided two links in the description for Amazon branded Ethernet adapters, one for laptops with the older USB-A ports and another for laptops with the newer USB-C ports. I've also added a link to the StarTech USB-C hub that I use in this video, which has gigabit Ethernet and 3 USB-A ports. Next, you need an ESIS compatible Ethernet cable with an OBDII connector on the end. I bought mine from Amazon for £11, I've linked to this in the description as well. Finally, the software you need to download to update iDrive is the BMW HU Service History Manager by Black Box Systemi Automotive. The light version is free to use. I've provided a link in the description to where you can download it from. Next, I'll run through the process of installing the program. Double-click the executable file you've just downloaded. Click Next. It first suggests to install it in a non-standard location. If you click Browse, it then suggests to install it in the normal program files directory. Select OK, and then it updates to show the correct program folder structure. Now click Next. Leave Create Desktop icon selected, because this program doesn't add a reference to the Start menu. Then click Next. Now click Finish to complete the installation. Because this free version doesn't allow you to download existing service history entries, you'll need to make a note of each one ready to enter into the HU Service Manager program. In iDrive, select Car, Vehicle Status, Service Requirements, then select Service History. Start at the bottom and work up. You need to make a note of the date, mileage, BMW Service Centre ID and what jobs were carried out at each interval. I've just got around to doing this job, so I've also added the 2 services I've carried out on the car in between now and then. iDrive stores mileage data in kilometres, so if your car is displaying in miles, you'll need to convert it into kilometres to enter it into HU Service Manager. 1 mile equals 1.609344 kilometres. Go through and multiply each mileage amount so you have the kilometre value next to each reading. The HU Service Manager doesn't accept decimal amounts, so you'll need to round up or down any values to the nearest kilometre. With everything prepared, open HU Service Manager. You'll need to enter them in chronological order. Right-click in the left-hand window and select Add. You can see from the default date shown that dates need to be added in day, month, year order. KM stand means mileage. I was testing to see if I could enter decimal values, but you cannot, so round up or down. Workshop is the ID of the BMW service partner. You only need to enter the 5-digit number in this field. I'm leaving the service status as on time, as none of my services were late. Workshop type will be BMW dealer for most entries. The procedure count isn't editable. This is based on how many jobs you add to this service date. Next, select the type of service from the drop-down menu. You can see all service types listed here. Once you've selected the matching record, click Add. If only one job was completed on this day, click Finish. Otherwise, click Add to select other service types from the drop-down list. Continue to add the remaining entries into HU Service Manager. To clarify, this is only going to update iDrive in your car. It doesn't update BMW's online service database. Only BMW dealers and accredited independent garages with an annual subscription can update the online database. This means if you take your BMW to the main dealer after updating your service history in iDrive, when they update the online system, it will override any entries you've manually added. This isn't necessarily an issue, it just means when you get home, you add the new service record into the Service Manager and update iDrive again. Now for the services I've performed, I'm adding myself as an independent with workshop ID 00000. It's up to you what you do here. You could copy one of the BMW IDs if you wanted it to look like all services were carried out at the same dealer. However, when you come to trade in the car, BMW check their online database instead of what iDrive is reporting, so would flag the discrepancy at that point. Once all entries have been added, save your service history for future use. Click Save As, then name it appropriately. Now we connect the laptop to the car. The OBDII connector in my X5 is positioned under the steering wheel here. I think most F and G Series BMWs have them in this same area. Next, plug in the Ethernet to OBDII eSys cable. Now plug the Ethernet cable into your laptop or network adapter like so. On the laptop, you now need to turn off Wi-Fi. This is important. You don't want your laptop inadvertently dropping the connection to your car mid-write because it realised it cannot connect to the internet through the eSys cable, so switched it back onto Wi-Fi. On Windows 11 you can select the Wi-Fi symbol bottom right, however the better way is to disable the wireless adapter. Click Start, then type Control Panel, then select it from the menu or press Enter. If your screen doesn't look like mine, first select to view large icons in the top right. Now click on Network and Sharing Center. Click Change Adapter Settings. Now right click and disable the Wi-Fi connection. After writing to the car, you simply enable it to restore Wi-Fi functionality. You can see here my Ethernet connection is showing as connected to an unidentified network, with the icon in the bottom right showing a globe with a restricted icon on it. This is what you should expect it to look like. If your Ethernet connection is showing as disconnected, you need to sort that out first before trying to write to the car. Minimize these windows and then open HU Service Manager. Actually, I'm going to run it as administrator just to make sure permissions don't cause any issues when writing to the car. Right click the icon and select Run as Administrator. Load in your service history file you saved earlier. Now click the Write to Car button. In the pop-up window, Erase Old Service Data is selected. This needs to be selected, otherwise it will duplicate entries within iDrive. Click Detect. This should confirm a connection to the car with a VIN and IP address listed. If you get a network connection error like this, disconnect your OBDII cable, get out of the car, lock it, then unlock, get in and try again. So if everything is good up until this point, click Start. You should see the screen update with this. Then the screens will restart in the car like this. It takes just over 10 seconds to reboot. Now if you go back into Car, Vehicle Status, Service Requirements, Service History, you can see all the original entries alongside the new ones that have been added. Well guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing's free and it just means any future videos I release will automatically appear on your feed without you having to search for them. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you on the next video.